Hey guys, it's SoFlo Josh and I'm over here at BMW of South Miami to review this 2025 BMW X5 M Competition for y'all. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the exterior and check out this beast of a model. So I want to give a huge shout out to BMW of South Miami for allowing me to review this beautiful X5 M Competition finished in the beautiful Marina Blue over here. If you are interested in purchasing a BMW X5 M Competition, make sure to ask for Chris Calero. He'll be able to assist you in getting into a model. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the X5 M. So now this is the facelifted version. So we actually have a completely different front end from the pre-facelift version. Now this is the F97 chassis. So just keep that in mind. It's the F97. The regular version of the X5 is the G05 for this current generation. But the overall styling improvements they've done, I actually really like it a lot. Over here at the front, you can see that we have a nicer grille design compared to that of the previous one. In my honest opinion, I think I like this horizontally kidney grille styling better than the pre-facelift one where it was vertically done. This one just looks more aggressive, in your face, bolder, and it looks very unique on the road. You'll know that it's an X5M compared to that of, you know, like an X5 M60 version. You'll know that for a fact. You have that nice X5M badge right there, finished in the gloss black. Remember, this is the competition, so you're gonna have all that black out appearance package. You do have your turn signals over here. As you see, they are the dimming version of it. I'm not a huge fan of this. I would rather just regular pulse, kind of like the X2 has or the other BMW products have, except for the 5 Series. But nonetheless, really nice headlight design. You do have your LED headlights right there, and you do have a full LED cornering lamp right there. Dropping it over here, you have a nice gloss black aggressive inlet over here. This is going to be for the cooling of your intake systems. And then over here you do have your safety sense technology right there. Down in the middle you do have 360 degrees camera right there as well. But the overall styling of the front, I actually prefer this styling compared to that of the pre-facelift. I just think it looks aggressive and it just looks overall really nice, and this Merino Blue just looks stunning. Now the other color I like for this one is the Isle of Man Green. I think the Isle of Man Green is a really nice color, especially for this model. Now dropping it over here, you do have your 21-inch rims over here, and I actually like the fact that we have not a full blacked out design rim styling here. You have that nice machine finish aluminum around with a nice gloss black inserts right there with that M badge right there, and behind that you do have your M brake calipers right there. These are finished in the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which is the best performance wheels to have for any performance vehicle, all in all. Over here to the side you do have some fake venting. Unfortunately, you do have that X5M logo right there, finished in that gloss black finish. I kind of wish they would actually have this open for airflow to go around the side over here, but the overall styling looks very nice. Styling wise on the side, it still stays true to that the pre-facelift one. You have that nice line that starts over here at the back end of the front fender and carries on and then levels up to the rear and then connects to these tail lights over here. Now these tail lights are new. They're kind of the same thing as what you would find in a X3 model, but a little bit shrunken down, more slimmer design overall. They are a full LED tail lights, and as I mentioned, the front turn signals are pulse, and this one at the rear is as well. You do have your rear reflector right there and your quad exhaust tips right over here. They look super menacing and they sound amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the clip in right now so you guys can hear how that sounds. Now continuing on over here at the back, you do have your X5 M Competition logo right there. It looks really nice. Unlike Audi, when you get an RS5 Competition, you actually don't even have a badge to let you know that you have a competition model. So just know that BMW at least gives you an identity for your model and trim level. Over here you have that BMW Rondelle. I kind of wish that was gloss blacked out as well. You have that rear diffuser, it looks really nice, and you also do have a spoiler over here at the rear that looks really nice, integrated into the back. It's not, you know, super outlandish. I think it's very nicely done and detailed. You do have roof rails over here off to the side, and you do have a new fin antenna right there as well. By getting over here to the rear, we're gonna go ahead and open up the trunk. As you see, it is power operated, of course. I mean, with this vehicle as a whole, you would think it would have a power operated tailgate, and then you do have that split tailgate. So one thing I've always loved about the X5 ever since its first, the E53 generation, they always had that split tailgate, which was actually from the Range Rover model of the time when BMW and them had a collaboration. So I'm really happy to see that BMW continues that same split tailgate, which is really nice, because think about it for a second. You can literally sit back here and you could be at a you know, tailgate or kind of or anything else, like watching your kids play soccer. You can go ahead and do that instead of having to have a seat. You can sit comfortably over here. As you see, the trunk space is really large. You have a nice width to it overall, and you do have a tonneau cover over here that you can do it manually. This model doesn't come with the one that is electronically, where it would come from underneath there and then slide up and then all the way forward. I actually prefer this. So if you were to go ahead and get a version of this one, I would totally recommend getting it without that power operated tonneau cover. And the reason why I say that is because that's more moving parts, which can equate to something breaking. So, and actually this is actually pretty easy to go ahead and take out. As you see, you press the button right there and you can actually take it out instead of it being encompassed underneath there. So getting underneath here, as you see, you do actually have a spare tire right here. So it's really nice to see that BMW incorporated a spare tire even for their performance models overall. But the overall trunk space is huge. You have a lot of height to it as well, and the actual headliner over here, you'll see, and we'll talk more about that, and the interior is actually done in Alcantara, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and continue on to the back seats. Getting over here to the back seat, opening up the door is pretty good. Kind of wish that the door would open 90 degrees so you can go ahead and fit a baby seat into the back easier, but it's a family car, plus it's a performance car, so just think about that for a second. It is still going to be easy to take it in, but just know that if you're trying to like fix something, your back is always going to be hitting right here, so just keep that in mind. Over here you do have the peasant shades right over here. They are manually operated, they are not power operated. Over here to the top, you do have that merino leather that's carrying over from the seats to the door panel, which is nice. Soft padding over here, all in all. And I like the fact that BMW has that extended merino leather all around. You do have ambient lighting over here and a nice carbon fiber with your speaker grills right over here and your tweeter grill right there. Nice M logo right there. These seats feel very nice and plush overall. They have this nice pattern right down the middle, and I like the overall styling of it. To go ahead and fold down the seats, you actually drop it like this, and as you can see, it kind of sits in an angle, so it does go upright a little bit, so just keep that in mind. But you can fit a 70-inch TV in here if you are going to go ahead and put anything. Now if you are interested in reclining the seats, there's no recline for these seats, unfortunately. But getting into the back seat, as you see, let me go ahead and see if I could turn on the lights. Oh yeah. Not a lot of lighting in here, because the only type of lighting you have over here is the rear ones right here, since you do have that large panoramic sunroof over here. But seats right here, since this is, you know, a performance seat, they're very bulky all in all, so that means it is going to eat a little bit into the rear occupant's legroom. But right now I have my seat exactly where I would sit, you know, pushed back on the top part a little bit back, but I have a lot of leg room all in all. I would say maybe I have about 2 inches left of leg room, but floor over there, as you see, there is lighting underneath. You actually have a lot of leg room underneath as well. Now sitting up very tall, with the panoramic sunroof that does eat a little bit into the headspace, I say I have about maybe 1 to 0.6 inches of headroom space all in all. So just keep that in mind. If you're a tall person, I am 6 foot tall, so anybody who is a little bit taller than that will be hitting their head on the top of the head, the roof over here, unfortunately. But just keep that in mind. You do have your tri-zone climate control over here, so that means in quad zone, my bad, you can actually go ahead and control depending on where you're sitting in the seat. You do also have vents here and vents here, which is really nice that BMW encompasses vents over here at the B pillar. Overall, really nice interior. The seats feel very, very nice, very plush. I like the overall designs of it. Getting over here, you do have cup holders that can flip out over here, which is really nice that BMW has that. And then over here you do have a compartment to put some of your snacks inside. Or this right here, you can actually just lower the center tunnel, so that means like a ski pass through. So just keep that in mind. Really nice that BMW has that. A little bit of storage space right here, 2 USB type C's with a 12-volt power outlet down there as well. I really like this interior. I mean, BMW has always killed the X5 interior. They've done a really good job. You have more USB type C's over here, so you have USB type C's on the back headrest, and you have 2 down there, so that means you have optimal amount of power to go ahead and power your tablets, your kids' tablets, or your phone, or anything else. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into the front seats. Now, getting over here to the front, you actually still have the same exact merino extended leather over here on the top, and on this bottom portion they are stitched, which is very nice. You do have your lock, unlock, you do have your door handle, your presets, and you do have massage functionality, which is very, very nice. You do have all your window switch gears right here as well, and for your trunk release to go ahead and open up, you have your Harman Kardon tweeter and your speaker grill right here with that nice carbon fiber right over here, ambient lighting across, and a ton of storage space over here. A nice bottle size opener right there. As you can see, you're gonna fit a nice 32 ounce bottle there. You do have power operated seats for the driver and the passenger. You do have a power extended thigh section, and then you also do have a tilt for the top portion of your seats over here, which is really nice as well, but really cool. And you can go ahead and increase the bolster or decrease the bolster with the push of this button right here. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the interior. You do have your X5M badging right there that lights up. Really nice to let you know that you do have an absolutely huge engine underneath the hood, and we'll talk more about that engine as we continue. So for the facelifted model, we lose the split screen display and the little canopy that's over the digital gauge cluster over here. Now it's just one huge, you know, screen area right here. It is still split in the middle because this is a 14-inch touchscreen over here, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, a 12-inch or a 10-inch digital gauge cluster over here. So just keep that in mind. But this houses a lot of the stuff, like for example your climate control. You can go ahead and do everything here. There's no more physical buttons. BMW has gone away with that completely for all their new generation of vehicles. Even the Mini brand has also done that. You can go ahead and preset. You could change your climate control over here as well, so just keep that in mind. You do have your heated and ventilated seats over here, so when you go ahead and do that, you can do both at the same time, which is really nice. And you have a heated steering wheel. With the pre-facelifted model, you actually had the heated steering wheel button right here, but BMW has actually completely eliminated that and put it into the screen over here, which I understand why they did it. I mean, they wanted to go ahead and put everything into the UI, so it's completely understandable. Over here with the X5 M Competition model, you do have this very nice thick steering wheel with the nice BMW M logo stitching all across, that nice blue, purple, and red that you see there from the M logo right there. You do have all your presets over here for your infotainment, whether you want to increase the volume or lower. And then you have your active cruise control buttons over here on this side. These two buttons right here are your M1 and M2. Now if you click M1 over here and we go back to the main menu, we can go ahead and choose a preset for everything you need to do. So for example, with my M1 configuration right now, I have the Sport Plus, the transmission in S1, and then I have also the chassis done in comfort, steering in comfort, brakes are in sport. I have DCSC on, mouthful of a word to say, and then you have the M active exhaust as well, start stop. So you can go ahead and configure these two different things, so depending on what you want for your daily use. For example, if I wanted to go to M2 and I wanted to put efficiency, I wanted to put the transmission in D1, you know, I wanted to make everything comfortable, you know, I have my family in my car, super simple, you know. So, you know, you can go ahead and put, you know, family second if you want to, because M2, get it? But yeah, you can go ahead and do all that and turn it off, and then all you need to do is just press that button, and as you see, Everything quiets up. The exhaust no longer is loud, so just keep that in mind. You have your nice 3D printed paddle shifters over here, finished in a nice carbon fiber as well. You do have your turn signal over here off to the side, and then you have your windshield wiper blade control over here. But the digital gauge over here in the middle, as you can see, is actually very unique to the X5M vehicles, or the M vehicles all in all, because you get different displays over here as well as over here. Nice carbon fiber trim all across. You do have your heads-up display over there. That's the best heads-up display in the industry right now for any luxury vehicle all in all. Over here you do have your vent controllers right here to go ahead and direct it towards you. Now, one thing I will say is a huge caveat is that this vent being covered up halfway, like all you have is this slot here and this slot here. In the heat, especially in Miami, you feel barely anything coming out of these vents here. That's a huge caveat. I don't like it. I understand why BMW did it, is because they were trying to encompass this ambient lighting over here with the M logo right here, but I don't like the way that BMW did it. I think that they could have just cut it off halfway and then did something else for the vent section. I think they just didn't test it really well over here in the North American market, even though this vehicle is produced here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So just think about that. So most of the time you're gonna want to have these vents directing you or your passenger overall. Over here you do have heated and cooled cup holders, which is really nice on both sections. You have a 12-volt right there, and then over here, if you go ahead and put your phone in the middle, you actually do have a wireless charger right there. We do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. You do have that USB done right there. And then over here you do have a USB Type-C as well. You do have a M style finish for your key as well, and you have a little bit of light, which is really nice. But this merino leather right here feels very, very nice, and I like the bolstering overall. Getting over here, as we open up the panoramic sunroof, as you see, you do have these little dots, and these little dots will actually change with the ambient lighting that you have, especially at night. Whenever you're cruising at night, this whole entire roof will actually change to the color that you have for ambient lighting. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's go ahead and get into the main tablet section right here. Not exterior lighting, interior lighting right over here. Let's do ambient. Let's go ahead and change the color to maybe like a nice lavender color. So as of right now, you can't actually see it, unfortunately, but let's go ahead and increase it. Accent light. And then maybe, yeah, you see right there. I don't know if you guys can see it that well. Maybe over here you can. Right there, as you see, it's a nice lavender finish, and I like it. It's a very, very nice detailed look to it, and it actually does open up. So if you press this right here, it will open up, and it will stop a little bit, but you can actually go ahead and press it again, and it will open up a little bit more, which is really good. The BMW still has that. We do have a full LED lighting up here at the top, so it's very nice that BMW still encompasses that. Over here you have that nice Alcantara on the roof line right here. You do also have a LED lighting right here, and as you can see, hello, how you doing? You do have your mirror right there. But overall, the interior is really nice. I like the overall design changes that BMW has done. I think it looks really nice, and this lilac or lavender color all around looks really nice, especially at night. I'm almost sure this is gonna look really, really nice. But with that being said, let's go ahead and pop the hood, and let's check out this amazing S68 twin turbocharged 4.4 liter V8 underneath the hood. Now this model makes 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. Now all that is sent out through an 8-speed automatic transmission, and this does have a hybrid powertrain to it all in all, which is really nice that BMW has encompassed that. This is the exact same engine that you would find underneath the hood of the all-new BMW XM and the BMW X5 M5 that will be coming out shortly. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take this vehicle out on the road, and let's see how this puppy drives. All right, so now we're down here on the main level, and let's go ahead and put it into drive. Putting it into drive is super simple. Put your foot on the brake and then slide it over to the drive part. Let's go ahead and take it over here to the main road. Now, interesting thing about this transmission here, the 8-speed automatic transmission that we have underneath, you can actually change the level of how much you want the transmission to shift and so on and so forth. Do you want it more aggressive or do you want it more tame? So right now I have it actually in the more tame part. I put it in the M2 part as well, and we're gonna go ahead and take it over here to South Dixie and see how this puppy drives. Now, the suspension of this vehicle is an M suspension, so depending on how you have it, if you have the you know, your suspension set to a more rougher track oriented one, you're gonna feel a lot of the imperfections on the road. You're gonna feel it very bumpy all in all. So let's go ahead and see how it drives over here in the comfort part where I have it right now. So taking it behind over here, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of throttle input, not so much, nothing too crazy, but it feels really good. That V8 feels silky smooth underneath the hood. You know, the great thing about this V8, since it has that mild hybrid tech all in all, you have a little bit more power compared to that of the S63 from the pre-facelift one, which is good. It's actually a really good thing that BMW has added the mild hybrid. It's worked perfectly fine in the 40 model as well as the M60, so why not add it to the X5 M Competition? We're gonna go ahead and take it down this S turns over here, and we're actually gonna put it into M1, and I'm gonna go ahead and increase the overall transmission and make it more and more aggressive. This is all-wheel drive, so just letting you guys know. As you see, it does hold the transmission, the RPMs higher. Let's go ahead and throw it over here. Wow, that feels really good. Oh my god, that V8 sounds insane. Oof. Oh my god. Let me tell you something, that feels really good. Oh. Oh my god, I want a V8 so bad, man. After having 4 cylinders for so long, man, I want a V8 super bad. Oh my god, I'm gonna take it down this road a little bit. Oh, that felt extremely good. It just pushed me back into my seat, and that transmission is just straight on, straight forward, super fast shifts. Let's go ahead and see how it feels over here in these bumps. Really good. I mean, it is a crossover vehicle, but it feels super good. Oh my god, that V8 is insane. How it just pushes you back into your seat. It's just something else. There's something about driving a V8, especially a twin turbocharged V8, that just makes it feel so right. We're gonna give it a little bit of throttle over here. Oof, man. That's what I'm talking about. That V8 twin turbocharged underneath the hood is just something else, man. Oh my god, this is such a great vehicle. This is actually my first ever full-on M vehicle to do a review on. I've never done a full-on M. I've only done M performance, and let me just tell you something, man. That E46 driving by was insane. But let me tell you something. This vehicle is just stellar. It feels so good. Let me go ahead and talk about the suspension. So I have right now, I told you I have it in M1, so let's go ahead and go back over here so I can show you exactly how I have it configured. As you see, engine is in Sport Plus, transmission S1. We're gonna go ahead and have the chassis in Comfort. Let's go ahead and change the steering to Sport, and let's go ahead and change the chassis to Sport, Sport Plus actually. Let's see how this car overall handles whenever we're driving, and you know, we're gonna keep it in M1 as you see. I have to say, the best part about this vehicle as well, since it is an SUV, you hear a ton of the exhaust sound coming from the rear area, the rear cargo area, which is really nice because a lot of cars, especially like sedans and so on and so forth, you don't get to hear a lot of the exhaust because it has that closed off part where the seats close off the trunk, and it doesn't give you that maximum amount of sound all in all. And I think it's great that, you know, buying a performance SUV, it's something else. You know, you're higher up, you feel like you're on top of the world. It's gonna just be more in line of what you're trying to feel. I mean, if you get what I mean. Like the sound of that exhaust for that V8 and that V8 note, all in all, I mean, yes, it is piped in a little bit here into the speaker, but I hear a lot of the exhaust coming out from the rear cargo area, which is really nice to see that we have that. So let's go ahead and take it back down here on South Dixie. I still have it in sport mode. We're gonna give it, we're gonna see how it feels with the suspension. Oh my god, this is just something else, man. You have to get into a vehicle like this. You have to feel how this car feels, and I have to say I'm very pleased of how this car feels. Let's go ahead and throw it back into M2 quiet mode. We have the family in the car. Let's think about that for a second. How does it feel? Well, suspension feels very, very soft. Feels good. Your steering input, as you see, it's very direct. You know, once you change it just a little bit, you are gonna have a little bit of give, and it will direct you into the right location. The exhaust right now is completely turned off, so that means we have those valved exhausts turned off, all in all. And we're gonna take it over here to this S-turn again, and we're gonna go ahead and just coast. We're gonna coast like we're on the California roads overall. So let's go ahead and see how it feels driving on these back roads again in comfort mode, giving it a little bit of throttle input. You still hear a little bit of that V8 underneath the hood. Of course you're gonna hear that. I mean, it's a freaking V8. It's not a 4-cylinder, you know? You're gonna hear all that grunt. And whenever you want to give a little bit of gas, you can go ahead and push down, and it will kick down just a little bit. So just know that. But this feels great. I love how this car feels. The suspension feels insane. Feels really good. It's a very comfortable car, and it could be a great car for any person who's looking for a performance vehicle who also has a family. Maybe they have kids in their baby seat, and you know, you don't want to get a minivan, you want to get something with a little bit more grunt, and your wife is allowing you to go ahead and get it. So that's what you should go ahead and do with this vehicle. This vehicle gives you all that in one package. And then when you're by yourself, all you need to do is just press the M1 button. Boom, you know, you're in sport mode completely. But with that being said, let's go ahead and go back upstairs and let's finish up this video. So now we're back up here on the second floor. Let's go ahead and turn off this beast of a vehicle, and let's go ahead and go out to the exterior and talk about my final impressions. Now, the G05 X5 is a great vehicle, but the F97 X5 M Competition takes it up to 10. It is the perfect all-around vehicle. That 4.4 liter V8 twin turbocharged underneath the hood, that's 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque with that all-wheel drive system, that 8-speed automatic transmission, is the best combination you can ever have for a German performance vehicle or any German performance SUV to date. It has the fun capability. It throws you back into your seat. It gives you that pizzazz of that exhaust, the burble, the exhaust tune. The suspension feels really good, especially in comfort, and the sport suspension didn't even feel that harsh. These brakes are on par. They stop whenever you want to go ahead and stop. It is the perfect package. And I have to say, another thing is the interior. Look at the interior. Look at this ambient lighting we have over here. It is phenomenal. And then when you open up the sunroof, you have a fantastic ambient lighting on there too. Think about this for a second. This vehicle encompasses everything that you've been looking for in a performance SUV. And I have to give it off to BMW, because BMW knows how to make an SUV, especially a performance SUV. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. What I recommend is 1000%. You should go out there and get one of these. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.